Now, it's always nice to talk to old friends, especially when those old friends are former neighbours, because I've come to Westbury-on-Severn to talk to what probably in years gone by was the Forest of Dean boy band. The boy band before boy band started. We're talking about the Foresters, who 45 years ago started singing around the Royal Forest of Dean and throughout Gloucestershire. In this room with me, Derek Cooke, Arthur French and Horace Cooke. No relations, I don't think, the Cookes. But Derek, start off by telling me how this group, boy band, the Foresters, came to be started then.
Lack of cash.
It started off as a skiffle group originally in the coffin shed at Bob Watkins's residence, where his father worked, and went on from there. We formed a vocal group and went to Butlins Holiday Camp. And
so let's go through who was actually in the group at the time then, because there's the three of you. There were others as well.
Oh yes, there was.
Swimmer Wyman on T-chest.
Who was this?
Swimmer Wyman on T-chest.
Yeah.
You know Swimmer, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, Swimmer. And then there was Bob Watkins, wasn't it? Alan Baker, me and Derek, right? And then Horace moved from Newent to Westbury River from Knocky Coves, wasn't it? Oh, Knocker.
and what did you start off intending to do? Was it just for fun, Derek, or what?
Just for fun, yeah. We started off singing in the car coming back from the pub, wasn't it, really, to start with? Yeah, we used to sing an army in the back seat, you remember?
And Horace, when did you join in then? Were you there from the very start?
The date was about 62, 63, yeah. I came over to Westbury-on-Severn to work, and we sort of met in the pub, and when we eventually got out in the late evening, we used to sing in the back of the old truck. And
So, Derek, when did it turn into being something more serious then, and you sort of obviously started practicing? Because you did go to Butlins, I know, and won the talent contest loads of times.
Well, we used to just go down to the Grange Court and practice, and it just went on from there. We got more serious, and although we just did it for enjoyment, really. But originally, the original group was me, Arthur, and Eric Kibble, who is not here at the moment. Went to Butlins Holiday Camp at Skegness.
No, just like for a holiday for you, really.
That's
And how did you go with the intention of singing when you got there?
Yes, we entered the contest there and was seen by an agent for ATV at Birmingham, so we appeared on the lunchbox at Birmingham then.
Oh, Arthur, you must have thought that was fantastic, didn't you?
Hey?
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah. That Noel Gordon one, wasn't it? Oh, she's still alive, is she?
No, not now.
Oh, there's Alan Osborne as well, remember, next door.
Yeah.
He was with us as well,
Yeah.
four of us. Alan
So
Osborne.
what do you remember of these trips to Butlins then?
Well, a lot of boozing and drinking, all the rest of it, and all that business, and so on and so on. Chasing girls around there.
Because you were superstar. What are you pointing at Horace for when you're talking about chasing girls? You didn't chase girls, Horace,
Well,
did you?
the idea of going to Butlins is we thought we were good enough to win a free week, which was one of the prizes.
Yeah.
So you'd enter while you were there, and we were almost guaranteed another week's holiday later in the season, and it used to be successful. We'd done it, I suppose, 5 or 6 years running. We free holiday on Billy Butlin.
And how would you describe them? Were you a close harmony group? How would you describe yourself?
We were close harmony.
Well, the thing is, mate, that's when we met Phil. You remember Phil Robinson?
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's not with us now, obviously. But that's where we met Phil at Butlins. But he was singing there. He was doing Frank Sinatra stuff. He was good too, wasn't he? He was bloody good. And he was by himself, and he wanted to, so he joined up with us during the day, during the week then, drinking. You could come to the chalet. We always saw us singing together in the chalet, didn't we, in the bathroom?
And what about instruments, Derek? How many instruments were there in this band?
Oh, just 2 guitars. Alan Baker and Bob Watkins used to play guitar. Four of us used to sing in harmony.
Now, I know you were actually very, very good. And Derek, you're very excited. I know you're a member of the this Joe Meek Society now. You were actually recorded by Joe Meek, weren't you?
Oh yes, recorded. We
Good number,
made 2 records and recorded 2 numbers with him. Back in 1962, I think, something like that.
And you had to go to what? 304 Holloway Road in London, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what can you remember of the trip up there and the day you spent with Joe Meek?
Well, we went up and first of all made a demonstration tape with him, which we still got, and then he suggested 2 songs to go back and rehearse.
That's right, yeah.
Which we did, and then went up and I think it was several occasions we went up there and made a record. These 2 numbers we recorded with him.
What about you, Horace? You got memories of that day?
Well, it was a big event, wasn't it? We came from the country and we were all up to the smoke. huge event.
And what about Joe Meek yourself? Because you came from Newent, didn't you?
I came from Newent, knew Joe, the family, Eric, Arthur, and knew the family well, yeah.
Was he difficult to work for and to perform for?
He was good, wasn't he? He was a nice bloke, he was, and he knew what he wanted too, mind. He knew what he wanted, didn't he? He was ever so welcome us in there and all this business, you know, and we had tea first and all that business, you know, and chatting away there, and he was made you feel easy, didn't he? Made you feel easy in the place.
And what was it you recorded with him then?
Well, he suggested to go home and do our own arrangements of the book. Remember the book sung by David Whitfield, and did Maria Lanza sing that? They sing it very, very slow, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we went down to Jack and Floss's place, the old Grange down there, didn't we?
The old Junction Inn.
Junction Inn, and worked an arrangement down there, went back up there, and he was pleased with it, wasn't he? We recorded it, we obviously sing 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 to record it, and then he was going to get session men in, wasn't he then, to give the backing, drums, bass, and all the rest of it, you know. But for some reason or other, whether he was slightly off key, it couldn't be done. So we had to go to make another return visit again and sing with the session men in there.
Horace said, going up to the smoke, you know, boys from the country. Derek, this must have been a bit special. So the book was one. What was the other one?
The book was one, and the other one was It's Almost Tomorrow.
And where are these recordings now? Because these records were never ever released, were they?
Never released. And this is what I've been trying to do through the society, is to trace these tapes. Joe Meek apparently left hundreds and hundreds of these tapes in tea chests, which someone bought the rights to in London. And the society have been trying to get these tapes released to the Sound Archives in London.
National Sound Archive, yeah.
So we could...
And of course, if they do that, they'd be available for you to listen to and get back in, wouldn't they?
Well, if our tapes are there, we would hope to get a copy of it, you know, sometime.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yeah.
No, he had a 45 pressed, hard disc pressed, with that book on there, you know, didn't he? And then he submitted it. They have listening days. These big companies like Philips were there, don't they? And he submitted that, and they returned it. They said it wasn't commercial enough to sell. That's was their opinion. It wouldn't sell. Because at the time it was all shadows, music, you know, and instrumental, that type of thing, see. You
boys should have been on Pop Idol and Fame Academy. All right, so let's talk about your voice. How did you? Because your voice was something a bit special, wasn't it? How would you describe your voice?
He was good.
Don't ask me. I'm too embarrassed to tell you.
He was good.
Was he? He was good with it.
He sang high, Horace did, and you could really reach them high notes. And Horace's voice made the harmony in the group.
How long did it take then, Derek, putting these things together? Because you know, I mean, it must have been a lot of time, because you must have had quite a repertoire, because you were going around quite a bit, weren't you?
Well, there was a lot of songs we knew, like I had records of, and we just decided we would sing that certain song and put our own arrangement of it, you know.
Could you all read music?
No.
We're all not in note of music.
Well, that's... Horace, what about now? When was the last time you actually sang as such? I mean, apart from in the bath.
Oh, we still have a session now and again. The other two lads, Arthur and Derek, are still singing, still playing. Yeah. Not commercially, I might add. Just to themselves, basically. But we were very lucky. We worked hard at it, and we done a lot of clubs down in Wales and in the forest. And the wages or the salary or the fee we charged was about, I think it was about £3 for a night.
Was it?
For a night.
Was it?
It was probably the best entertainment they had, because we drank it all before we got away.
You spent it all before you left the club.
So they had the £3 that they paid us, plus about another £3 in beer as well.
And how did you get from A to B then? How did you get about as a...
With difficulty, yeah.
Yeah.
We probably had one car and two car. We used to go...
He used to borrow Bob borrowed
double loaded, basically. We used to borrow the car for the undertaking from
the Dormobile,
with we used to take the coffins in. We used to go in that one.
Yeah.
And Bob Watkins used to drive that, and
Alan used to borrow his father's car.
yeah, we used to borrow cars. Yeah, we had. Yeah, there was no money. I mean, £3 was a fortune to earn that in an evening. But as I say, we used to drink it before we got home.
Arthur, what about this transport then? Because you mentioned a Dormobile. You used to go in a Dormobile as well?
Yeah, that was Morris's, Bob's father's, what he used to use for the building, didn't it? That was it, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
And Bob used to borrow that to get us all in. Yes, it was. That's right, Black Dormobile. And he'd load in there, and all we had was an amplifier, wasn't it? And that was it, really. Yeah. And we had no drums, no bass guitar, nothing like that, you see. All we had was a couple of acoustic guitars, and that was Bob and
And a washboard.
And the washboard. That was Skiffle, that was the old Skiffle. Yeah.
How far afield did you go then?
Ooh, God, I was with
As far as Cinderford and Newent, did you?
Gloucester, Cheltenham,
miles, yeah.
and then we talked about old Mervyn Mathens for a while afterwards, didn't we? Old Mervyn.
From the Red Lion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, and then Derek bought a car, didn't you? Eventually, but it was usually their father's cars, wasn't it? Alan Baker's or Bob Watkins', really.
Derek, the missing music. How important actually is it to you and the rest of the lads?
Well, I don't know. It's a thing I would have always wanted to get if I could get hold of it. It's
So what have you actually got that you've got on? I know you've got a cassette here. What's actually on the cassette? How many tracks are on there?
well, there's 8 songs on there that we that was the demonstration tape we did
That you took up for Joe Meek?
for Joe Meek to start with. Yeah.
He said, go in there.
No, that's recorded by Joe Meek.
That's recorded by Joe Meek.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, yeah.
I mean, that's a collector's item in itself. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
that's got to be worth money, the Foresters. How many people do you reckon that are listening to this will actually remember you?
Probably one. That's my wife.
Your wife can remember. Derek, how did you, do you think there are people about that will still remember you?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few people that still remember our music. You know, yeah.
I'm going to leave the final word to Arthur because he's done very well, lads, hasn't he? Because he hasn't sworn once yet, as far as I could tell. No, so I think we deserve to give him the last word. How important was the years with the Foresters to you then, Arthur?
Well, it was a lovely time. We had a lot of good times together. It was good times, that was. So the old Skiffle days and so on and the rest of it and so on. And it was, I enjoyed it. It was a hobby, wasn't it? It was a hobby more, really. And Phil wanted us to, this is Phil Ramazan, he wanted us to pack our jobs up, didn't he? And go to London, but we weren't prepared to do that.
That was the biggest problem, really. We all had jobs that we'd sort of apprenticeships or jobs we were quite skilled at. And nobody'd leave their job to chance making music. Though there was money to be earned, we couldn't get the courage to go up to the big city and get in the bright lights. We'd done a bit of television, didn't we? On several television.
Yeah, Jimmy Young show.
Jimmy Young and that, and it was great time, really. Where else could you go and get free beer, probably, and an enjoyable evening with your mates?
Yeah.
Not get chased by the police, and come home and go out and work it off the next morning.
Well, I was going to leave the last word to Arthur, but Horace, you've had it. Thanks very much indeed, guys.